A black bear towering over an Amazon driver, an 8-foot alligator blocking a pizza delivery, a lightning strike that came within feet of another driver, life and death attacks from animals and humans alike, and more, plus a ghost story. These are delivery drivers who captured something terrifying. In Upland, California, an Amazon driver was walking up a driveway to drop off a package when a black bear suddenly popped up from on top of a wall. The homeowners weren't home, they were out shopping, but their Ring camera picked up the motion and sent an alert straight to their phones. The homeowner saw the bear, jumped on the speaker, and yelled to the driver,
"Hey guys, stop right now. There's a bear right there. There is a bear right there."
And moments later, the driver saw it. The bear locked eyes with him and started moving closer. The homeowner chimed back in over the speaker, telling him to just go back to his car, but instead of panicking, the driver stayed totally calm. He raised both arms over his head to make himself look as big as possible. Luckily, it worked, and the bear took off down the street. As soon as the coast was clear, the driver walked up to the house and dropped off the package like nothing happened. Back in January of 2023, an Amazon delivery driver in Orange County, Florida, was ambushed in broad daylight by two men who robbed him right inside his truck. The driver had just finished a delivery near an apartment complex when he noticed a guy standing near the driver's side of the van. The second the driver climbed inside, another man snuck into the cargo area. The guy held the firearm straight to the driver's neck and demanded his stuff, while the first guy hovered near the door. The attacker ended up taking the driver's cell phone and debit cards, dug through his pockets to see if he had anything else, and grabbed 10 packages from the back before both men took off in a white van. A witness saw the whole thing go down and flagged down deputies nearby. Dashcam footage inside the truck recorded the entire encounter, which helped police track down the two suspects. Turned out both men were career criminals who, between the two of them, had 85 felony charges and 11 felony convictions. One of them had actually just been released from prison a couple months earlier after serving time for carjacking. The police managed to catch up with them pretty fast. The delivery driver pulled up his Find My iPhone app, which led deputies right to one of the dude's home addresses. Brilliant stuff. His next delivery driver came within inches of being fried. Last year, down in Cape Coral, Florida, an Amazon driver was trying to drop off a package when he almost got hit by lightning. It was just after 2 p.m. on a Thursday. He was walking up to the driveway, and out of nowhere, this huge lightning bolt struck right near him with a massive clap of thunder. The front door camera caught it on video, and you could basically see the guy jump out of his skin. People in the neighborhood watched the clip and said that's the scariest part about working outside in Florida. The weather turns on you in a second. Meteorologist Lauren Hope said, "If you can hear thunder that loud, you're close enough to get struck, and you need to get inside immediately." An Uber Eats driver named Marcus was out on a night run in Newark, New Jersey, just trying to finish up a regular food delivery. Everything seemed totally fine until he looked at his GPS and realized the address was right next to the cemetery, which he was not crazy about, especially when things started getting weird. It started with this strange dark blur that swept across his dashcam. Take a look. Now, this would be easy to write off in most instances, a bug, some sort of reflection, yada yada yada. If it were nothing but the visual, that's what I'd assume, but Marcus said he actually felt something. As soon as that blur swept by, he felt a sudden heavy shift inside the car, like something had just slipped into the seat right next to him. Moments later, the car started vibrating violently. A loud, fast tapping started hitting the passenger side window. At this point, he pulled over. He looked out in the dark, but there wasn't a single person anywhere near his car. After stepping out of the vehicle to take a breather, he climbed back inside, ready to drive off and complete the delivery. He was right by the cemetery now, and sitting by the gates was this random pile of shoes. At this point, things went from weird to downright creepy. One of the shoes slides forward and then shifts slightly, all on its own. Thinking he was losing his mind, Marcus got out of the car again to get a clearer look at the shoes, and it happened again.
Oh, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no.
After he climbs back into his car, the locks suddenly click.
What the?
And last straw, the passenger side door opens on its own.
Oh, hell, what the? Shit.
Marcus vowed to never accept a delivery to that address ever again. Down in Bradenton, Florida, a pizza delivery driver was heading into a 55-plus community called River Isles to drop off an order, only to find the driveway completely blocked by an 8-foot alligator. The massive gator had been wandering through the cul-de-sac before deciding to crawl directly under the white van parked right in front of the house, waiting on the food. Luckily, a police officer named Michael Tolson was already on the scene after neighbors had called in. When the delivery driver pulled up and saw the situation, she froze. Officer Tolson suggested she walk around the back of the house to avoid the gator, but the driver was just way too spooked. The delivery driver asked if Tolson could just hand the pizza over for her. He agreed and started walking around the grass toward the front door. Right at that moment, the woman living there opened her front door and started walking out just a few feet away from where the massive gator was crouching. Tolson immediately yelled for her to go back.
Oh my lordy.
But it didn't take long to get her priorities in check.
Get in the house!
My pizza.
The officer met her around at the back door to hand over the box. She asked him how much she owed for the food. Tolson had to remind her, "I have no idea, I'm not the pizza man." Trappers eventually arrived to safely haul the gator off. Back in 2023, a DoorDash driver named Jerry Gonzalez was out dropping off food in San Jose, California, when out of nowhere, the driver behind him started aggressively flashing his high beams. Jerry tapped his brakes just to signal the guy to back off. Instead, the driver sped up around Jerry, cut him off, slammed his brakes to force a stop. Before Jerry could really figure out what was happening, the man hopped out of the vehicle, walked around to his trunk, and pulled out a massive machete. He marched straight over to Jerry's car and swung the blade, smashing right through the passenger side window and caving in the door. Jerry hit the gas and roared out of there. In his words, "I couldn't see what it was. I thought it was a baseball bat or something. I only saw him coming over toward my passenger side. As he was at my passenger side, I tried to drive off as fast as possible, hoping he was just trying to scare me or something like that, but unfortunately, he wasn't. He actually did damage and hit the side of my window." Jerry dialed 911 and decided to follow the attacker from a distance so the police could track him down before he hurt someone else. But things took another crazy turn when Jerry cornered the guy, causing the suspect to jump back out of his car with the machete and charge at Jerry a second time. Realizing he had enough evidence captured on his dashcam now, Jerry finally pulled off and just waited for police to arrive. A FedEx driver named Matt Govier was delivering a box to a house in Sumner, Nebraska, when he walked right into a terrifying situation on the front porch. As Matt walked up the steps with the package in his arms, he looked down and spotted a 3-foot-long prairie rattlesnake coiled up right by the front door. His Ring doorbell camera caught the exact second that he noticed the venomous snake.
Oh.
Realizing the danger to whoever lived there, Matt grabbed a shovel sitting nearby, pancaked the rattlesnake on the porch, and then used a rake to clean up the mess. This grocery delivery driver up in Alaska got way more than she bargained for when a massive moose decided to drop by the house right at the same time. The homeowner opened her front door to accept the order, briefly said hi, and then immediately ushered the driver inside. The driver stepped into the entryway just as a huge moose stepped directly onto the front porch.
Girl, I'm trying to get my groceries delivered.
For folks in Alaska, coming face to face with a moose is not super rare, but that doesn't make it any less startling. Alaskan moose can easily stand 7 feet tall just at the shoulder, towering way over cars. Now, there's no footage for this last case, but it is a wild story. So in 2020, out in Larimer County, Colorado, a UPS driver named Alex Rodriguez pulled up to a house to make a delivery when he suddenly found himself in the middle of this life or death animal attack. Alex was making his drop off, chatting with a 57-year-old construction worker on the property. As Alex went to climb back into his delivery truck, he looked over and saw this 91-pound mountain lion pinned on top of the construction worker, mauling him. Alex grabbed a heavy piece of pallet wood, ran up and started beating the mountain lion until it finally let go and ran down the hill. Alex called 911 to get help for the man and then drove off to finish the rest of his delivery route. The victim later thanked the UPS driver for saving his life, of course, but when police and park rangers rushed to the scene to track the cougar, the situation only got more chaotic. The mountain lion had fled toward a nearby RV park and hid under a trailer close to where kids were riding their bikes. Officers tried to form a line to guide the animal down toward a riverbed and away from people, but instead the cougar lunged 10 feet from under the trailer directly at Deputy Michelle Ross. Ross barely had time to fire off a single shot before the cat slammed into her right arm, knocked her to the ground, and tried to go for her throat. Ross fought with the cougar on the dirt until a ranger ran up and kicked the mountain lion off her. The animal took off and was shot and killed by wildlife officers shortly after. And it gets even better. As it turned out, the mountain lion had rabies. Explains why it was so aggressive and unhinged. So both Deputy Ross and the construction worker had to go to the hospital for treatments. Luckily, everyone survived. That's been the video, and I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.